So in the United States, the governing body that takes care of printing more money and cutting interest rates is the Federal Reserve. Okay. In Europe, it's called the ECB, the European a central bank. In Japan, it's called the MOF, Minister of Finance. In other countries, it's usually called the Bank of whatever. Like in Canada, it's the Bank of Canada. And so the way it works is governments governments are not run like a business, nor should they be. And so what governments do is they actually they sell bonds, right? Taxes aren't enough money for governments to be able to function. And when it comes to wars, God forbid, but governments, they have to issue bonds to be able to pay for war. It's just the way it is. So this here is United States government bonds, and this is what the United States used to pay for World War II. Right? This is an actual one. You can buy this stuff for next to nothing on eBay. And so here's how it works. Okay, so let's pretend that we're back in, and I'll make this as accurate as possible. We're back in November of 1944, and the U.S. Navy issued this in Cleveland. Okay, this is United States war bond. Okay, so we're back in 1944. This is a 10-year bond that the United States government sold to Americans, right? American individuals and banks and institutions as well. And what they did was they actually made a nice little interest rate on it as well. In fact, you bought it at a discount. You can't see this, but on the back of the bond, it says you can buy this bond for $18.75. And over 10 years, it goes up in value until 1954. It's worth 25 bucks. This is a discount bond. You buy it at a discount. There's no coupon on it. It's just you buy it at a discount, 1875, you get 25 bucks 10 years later. And so what would happen is the United States government would sell it to you. Pretend that you're all consumers, okay, and institutional investors. So what happens is you all buy it, okay? I give this to you, and you give me your money, okay? And so some of this money is taken out of circulation, and when there's less supply of something, the value of it goes up. So interest rates go up. And some of the money is actually used to fund World War II, right? To defend freedom. Yeah. And so if you think about it, if you took that power away from governments, like if people started, instead of wanting to buy dollars or different currencies or bonds, instead they wanted to buy cryptocurrencies, right? Hypothetically, if they wanted to buy cryptocurrencies and not dollars or other currencies, then you've just taken away the most important weapon that every country has to defend itself. It's frightening. It's frightening. And that's why in many countries, cryptocurrencies are now banned. It's terrifying. It was let me show you something here. And I miss my grandfather and I love him. And this is an homage to him. He's no longer with us. But he helped the Canadian Army in World War II. But right here, this here is a poster I bought to buy victory bonds. This is from the Canadian government. And governments have to market these things like you market any other product. But imagine if we go back in time and imagine if cryptocurrencies existed and were very, very popular and widely used in the 1940s, right? The whole world would look completely different. And that is why governments are banning cryptocurrencies. Also, a lot of them are a scam. I believe that there's a bunch that are great investments, but I believe that most of them are scams. And let me show you a couple other bonds really, really quickly, and then we'll move on here to questions. So I showed you the United States bond here, right? So what I'll do next is I'll show you a couple other bonds globally. And it's interesting because of what's happened with the Suez Canal, right? So the Suez Canal was blocked by a ship. And so what happened was it hurt international trade. Now, I want to talk about something similar to the Suez Canal. This was issued to create a dam, okay, an infrastructure project by the Egyptian government back in the early 1900s, okay? And just like the American bond I showed you to fund World War II, this worked the same way. So this here is, it's from the state of California, okay? It's called Street Improvement Bond. It's from the city of Los Angeles, okay? And this was to build out roads in the 1930s. And this one here, it's a little bit different from the other bonds I showed you because it's got coupons on it. So what would happen is you would buy this bond and then you would rip off a coupon and then you'd take it to the bank to be able to cash in money every once in a while or so. And imagine how much worse traffic would be in Los Angeles if the government of Los Angeles wasn't able to raise money through bonds to improve transportation, etc. So the bottom line is that the biggest threat to national security it definitely is globally at this point for many countries, cryptocurrencies. And now you understand how the whole process of creating bonds works. And if you have additional questions, as always, please let me know and thank you.